Hey guys, what is going on and welcome to today's YouTube video. In today's video we are once again going to discuss the current state of Bitcoin. We are going to look at a potential trade setup that is currently developing on the Bitcoin price. We can see that Monday I explained to you guys on Twitter in my YouTube video as well that I was looking for a sweep of the sell side over here before a potential push towards the upside. Now we can see that this morning that setup played out beautifully. We swept all of the sell side liquidity and we got a nice bounce to the upside. Personally, I was asleep when all of this occurred, so I couldn't take the trade, but as we can see in our VIP channel, Memon, one of our co-traders in our VIP channel, catched the trade beautifully. Bitcoin long last night. It was kind of late at night. Personally, I was asleep already, but he catched the trade beautifully. But I do believe that there will be a potential new opportunity to get in on this Bitcoin potential move to the upside if we get the right confirmations. And those confirmations is exactly what we are going to talk about in today's YouTube video. So we can see that currently after this strong move to the downside, Bitcoin started moving sideways. Now, for a lot of people, this sideways movement looks bearish, right? A lot of retail traders will maybe say there's some kind of a bear pennant developing, some kind of a bear flag developing. Some people will say this is just consolidation before another move to the downside. Personally, after such a strong move to the downside or to the upside, I don't really care. If you see sideways movement like this, it's potential reaccumulation after a move to the downside and potential redistribution after a move to the upside. Now, how can we know whether it's consolidation before continuation or if it's reaccumulation before a potential reversal? This sideways movement needs to occur within a liquidity pool and it needs to occur near strong support. Now we can see that we do have that liquidity pool, because if we are going to look at this previous piece of price action over here, and if we are going to zoom into that piece of price action, we can see that the low over here is where there was a lot of stop losses resting, right? So this low is where a lot of stop losses were resting of people that were longing this move to the downside, right? This was a clear invalidation point. So that low is providing a lot of liquidity. Now, on top of that, if we are going to zoom in, we can see that we had this wick being created over here, right? Kind of a big wick. We know that these wicks indicate too fast of a price movement and are indicating a potential liquidity pool. Look where the price is bouncing 2 times in a row, exactly at that liquidity pool, grabbing the liquidity that was left behind by this wick. So we already have 2 indicators that are pointing out the fact that there's a lot of liquidity around this consolidation area. On top of that, we can see that over here we had this huge imbalance on the 4-hourly time frame, right? So this move was an imbalanced move, was too quick of a move. Some market makers couldn't get in, so at some point they're going to fill this imbalance. It turns into a liquidity pool, and that's exactly where the sideways movement was occurring. Now, so this is indicating to me that the sideways movement is occurring within a big liquidity pool. So sideways movements into big liquidity pools after a move to the downside indicate potential reaccumulation before a potential reversal to the upside. Now, that reversal doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to take out all of these highs. It can also be a corrective move before further downside. Like, I'm not saying that I'm extremely bullish right now on Bitcoin, but what I am seeing is that we are currently simply trading within this range over here. And as long as we are within this range, you want to trade the range until it breaks. Okay? And that's exactly what we have to look at currently, in my opinion. Also, on top of that, we also have this previous range high over here that we are currently retesting, right? So critical previous resistance over here multiple times that we are currently retesting. As long as we don't fall below that critical support, there's nothing wrong with looking for a little bit more upside. fall below it, then we are probably going to take out this area over here where we also have that CME gap until we fall back into this range. I'm expecting more upside before at some point we are definitely going to visit the CME gap over here that I have been calling for months. At some point, guys, I do believe that we will fill that CME gap before the proper bull run starts. Okay? But this means that personally I prefer to look for long positions, okay? And what kind of scenario could trigger another opportunity to get into a long position? Well, to get the trigger for a potential long position, I want us to shift market structure to the upside, because we can see all the way to the downside over here, market structure has been insanely bearish. And also more locally over here, we can see that we are still forming lower highs and lower lows. Now, this high over here is the high that brought us to a brand new low over here. So this high over here is also the high that we need to break in order to shift market structure again to the upside. Now, what do we need in order to shift market structure to the upside? We need a candle open and a candle close above this high over here. If we do, we shift market structure to the upside. We can look for longs on the pullback, targeting, for example, the buy side above this high over here that will show in a minute on the lower time frames, to target, for example, this imbalance over here, or maybe even this imbalance over here, or maybe even the buy side above these highs later on. Okay, but until we shift structure to the upside, I'm not interested in longs, because the long opportunity was over here when we swept that sell side liquidity, right? If you took that long position over here or over here, you should move your stop to break even right now. If we are going to take a look at the volume profile of this range to determine potential areas of interest, we can see that we have the value area low over here that also aligns with our previous lows over here and over here. Could be a nice area of support to get in on a long position after we shift the structure to the upside again. Okay? Keep an eye on this value area low, keep an eye on this point of control as well. Now, I also want to have a look at the fixed range volume profile of yesterday, so of Tuesday. We're going to take the fixed range volume profile. Let's remove this one. Let's go on the lower time frames. We can see currently testing the point of control and the value area high of yesterday, but also over here, the value area low beautifully aligns with this M15 order block over here. Potential area of interest to get in on a long position after we shift structure to the upside, get that pullback. We can see that probably below this M15 OB, there's some sell side liquidity. If we check the 5-minute time frame, yes, we can see that some people will use this low over here to cover their stop loss. Those stop losses will provide liquidity around this piece of price action where we saw a little bit of a hiccup during this move to the upside. And that hiccup aligns perfectly with the value area low of yesterday's fixed range volume profile. Beautiful potential entry point alongside the value area low of the entire range that also aligns almost at the exact same area. Definitely an area to keep an eye on as soon as we shift market structure. So what I am going to do is I'm going to mark out this area of support. It's called a value area low for a reason, right? It's not an exact level, it's an area of support. And that is also why in this instance, I'm marking it out as an area of support and not as a level of support. The value area low will provide potential support for the Bitcoin price. Once we shift structure to the upside, we will engage with a long position on the pullback, potentially around the value area low. Maybe we add a little bit of margin around this support over here, invalidation below this low. Targets are very, very clear. This buy side liquidity high over here will be my main target. And eventually you can target this buy side, and maybe even this liquidity buildup over here. Beautiful potential long position developing on the Bitcoin price. But if we do not shift structure with momentum to the upside, with a candle open and closed above the previous high, there's no trigger, and no trigger means no trade. If you guys did enjoy this YouTube video, please make sure to smash out the like button, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and guys, please join our brand new Discord server. We have merged the VIP and the free section into one server. The link can be found in the description down below. We are having a blast over there, so make sure to check it out. Join the free server and I'll see you guys there. Friday, brand new YouTube video. We'll see you guys on that video. Thank you guys for watching and I'll catch you guys soon. Ciao, ciao.